Guys, good morning, everyone. I know you guys have been here where you walk into a buffet and you are starving and everything looks delicious. Like you don't even know where to start. Do you just bypass the salad, go straight to the spaghetti? Like everything is so good. Well, on this Monday morning, there is so much good stuff right now. Baseball, football, basketball news. But I'm going to start you guys with a joke I saw floating around social media. I've seen variations of this, so it's not original, but how bad are the gas prices? Well, so bad that even Tom Brady has to go back to work. The big news coming out, Tom Brady is going back to work for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Were you guys shocked? Because I wasn't necessarily shocked.
I told Forty that I thought it was he took his kids to the school and he sat in that line for 6 weeks and he was like, no.
I gotta admit, I was shocked. I did not peg Tom Brady as the unretiring type.
Especially when he brought his wife into it and was like, hey, my wife deserves a husband. When he started bringing the Giselle angle in there, I'm like, oh man, no way he's gonna let her down. But obviously she was in on it.
Well, everything we've heard about Tom Brady, especially the last couple of years, is how calculated and thought out every step of the way is for him. And
Right.
Everything is meticulously planned. It just seemed like his retirement would be also handled that way. But once he got there, it just seemed like he was like, nah, this ain't for me.
So Pep, he's back. And then so they immediately signed Ryan Jensen, their great center. So he's back.
Yeah.
Will Gronk come back? They're going to put the band back together.
Yeah, like next year is going to feel like this past season with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, Tom Brady, in Tampa Bay. Like it's going to look, Russell Wilson's on the move. But other than that, like this year might look a lot like last year in terms of the NFC, in terms of the hierarchy. And I don't know, man, Tampa Bay should be pretty good again. We'll see what Tom Brady has left. But we know he's coming back. That's what we know right now.
I think maybe the most pressure right now is on the Tampa Bay GM to maybe try to work out these contracts to try to keep it going for another year with a lot of these guys too, because they've been doing all kinds of crazy contract stuff there.
Work out the contracts. But you know what? Like you said, Pep, that does make me think of it. Russell Wilson, he's not in the NFC anymore, right? So he's like, okay, there's one guy less I have to deal with. Yeah. Let's run it back.
Yeah, I feel like the AFC is more wide open. I think the NFC, I said this last year, is top heavy. There's like 3, 4, maybe 5 really good teams. The NFC, I think, is going to be tough once again. So NFL big news, obviously, Tom Brady, announcing that on Sunday. And then, baseball is back. They work out the agreement. They're reporting to spring training. Opening day will be April 7th. And for the Dodgers, I don't know if this made huge headlines, but they did re-sign Clayton Kershaw to a 1-year, $17 million deal. So Clayton Kershaw is coming back to the Dodgers, and there's still some big-name free agents that have not decided where they're going. So the Dodgers or Angels could still pick up a big name before we start the real season on April 7th.
Clayton Kershaw will be back, and baseball somehow, some way, miraculously pulls it off, and they can pull off their season.
Darn.
Darn. Yeah, I thought this might drag on a little bit longer, but both sides got together. They got the deal in place. So now Major League Baseball teams are reporting to spring training in Arizona and Florida. So we'll have this abbreviated version of spring training, a couple games, and then April 7th we'll start everything for the regular season. So we had, let's make a list: Tom Brady, we had the big baseball news, and then March Madness, the brackets also came out on Sunday. So there was so much going on. Yes, the brackets came out. Here's your number 1 seeds going into the tournament: Gonzaga, Arizona, Baylor, the defending national champion, and Kansas. Those are your number 1 seeds going into the tournament. And I'm not going to put you guys on the spot, but do you guys have a gut feeling who you feel like might go all the way, or at least maybe get to the Final Four?
Being from Seattle, I would love to say Gonzaga because it's like they get close every single year. But I have to admit, it is one of those things where it seems like it's tough to get over the hump for them.
I'm going to say Gonzaga because it's all I know. Gonzaga is always a name I see in the NCAA later on in the bracket, so let's go Gonzaga.
Skinny white dude who can shoot threes, Holmgren, we'll see how he can do.
I think Gonzaga is going to make a serious run. In fact, I think even though UCLA is not a number 1 seed, in fact, UCLA didn't even win the Pac-12. It was Arizona who won the Pac-12, and Arizona is going to be a number 1 seed. UCLA fell down to a number 4, but I feel like UCLA is not your typical number 4 seed. They had such a great run to the Final Four last year. I feel like UCLA might make a deep run. They're going to open up against Akron. I think Akron, are they the Zips? I'm trying to remember what Akron University is.
Yeah.
I think you're right, though, Pep. It's like we kind of secretly know that no, UCLA is not playing very well right now, but we know they're a good team. So if they catch fire, they could be trouble, especially with nobody expecting jack from them.
Yeah, because they went so deep last year. And for me, I put a lot of value in the March Madness teams that have experience. They've been there before. They've made runs. And this is basically the same UCLA team from a season ago. So I would not be surprised, if they built some momentum, some confidence, and caught fire, and strung together a couple wins here to make another deep run. Could, Gonzaga reach the finals or UCLA? I think so. I think I like each of those teams to make a serious run here.
I do too, but I have Pac-12 pride, so anyone in the Pac-12 does well, I'm happy.
I usually end up paying more attention to the Pac-12 team. So knowing that we have like Arizona and UCLA to look forward to, that's going to be helpful.
I want them to do good.
I got USC. USC's a 7 seed. They'll take on Miami in the opening round. I did want to point out this one. We also have Cal State Fullerton. Don't sleep on the Titans. They are your Big West Conference champions. And guys, get this. So they are a 15 seed. They will open up against number 2 Duke. So it's Fullerton versus Duke. And Coach K, the legendary Coach K, has said this is his last season. Can you imagine if Cal State Fullerton knocks Coach K into retirement? Like that's his last game?
It's happening.
You know what they need to do is they need to hold a ceremony. If I'm the other team, they need to hold a ceremony before the game because it throws Coach K off. He could not stand any of that stuff that they were doing at Duke. And I know it was a bigger celebration, but if they could just act like it was a big deal, he can't wait to get that game started. He wants no appreciation like that because he wants to be all in game mode. He hated all that time that he had to sit there and wait. And then North Carolina just gave him the business.
Let's get the city sign ready. Welcome to Fullerton, the city that retired Krzyzewski.
See? That's a campaign slogan right there.
I think you guys are onto something. Any advantage, right? If you're Cal State Fullerton, obviously this is a huge mountain to climb, taking on perennial power Duke. But if there's an advantage there, take it. And for Coach K, man, can you just imagine, like, hey, what was your final game? Did you lose at North Carolina? Was it Kentucky? Was it Kansas? No, it was Cal State Fullerton in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Can you imagine?
Remember the Titans.
Yes. So anyways, that starts Thursday, March Madness, early Thursday morning. If you're a college basketball junkie like me, it's wall-to-wall action, like 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at night. Thursday and Friday, just wall-to-wall college hoops. That was the other big storyline. And
I'll be in Vegas for it all, too.
Oh, will you? Oh, see, so you're really going to enjoy it.
Plane in Vegas that morning, absolutely.
You are really going to enjoy that one, 40. And finally, guys, a quick shout-out to Centennial High School, your CIF Open Division state champions, beating Modesto Christian by 9, 59-50. So Centennial is the best team in the state of California, and guys, it's not even close. They did not necessarily have any close games against another team in the state of California. Their one and only loss came against the state champion from Texas, Duncanville, and they actually lost to Duncanville only by 3, and it was on their court in Texas. So it was a great season for Centennial boys basketball this year.
Congratulations, 40.
Major basketball powerhouse right here in the IU. That's awesome.
Yeah, so to get your stuff.
Hey, check out Inland Sports. That's where you can get my stuff. If you're into high school basketball, talking March Madness, maybe even a Tom Brady joke in there. It's Inland Sports, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and the Inland Sports YouTube channel.
Thanks, Pat.